In the previous video, we have explored two-phase commit, which is a traditional way of handling distributed transactions to ensure atomicity across services. We saw how it works in two phases, prepare and commit, and how it ensures either everything commits or nothing does. But we also saw its major flaws, like services gets blocked waiting for the coordinator, or if the coordinator crashes, participants are left hanging, and it also creates tight coupling and adds to high latency. So the natural question is, can we fix these problems? Can we build a protocol that provides atomicity but is more fault tolerant? That's what led us to the design of three-phase commit. Now let us understand what it is, how it works, and why, even though it is better than two-phase commit, it is still not the ideal solution for modern microservices. Three-phase commit is an extension of two-phase commit. It introduces a third step in the process to improve fault tolerance and reduce blocking. The three phases are CanCommit, or we can say prepare. Second step is pre-commit, and the last step is DoCommit. Now let us look at each of these phases in detail and see how it changes the things. The first one is CanCommit. This phase is similar to the prepare phase in two-phase commit. The coordinator sends the message to all the participants asking, can you commit this transaction? Then each participant checks if it is ready and replies with yes for ready and no for cannot proceed. Now if all the participants replied yes, the coordinator moved to the next phase. And if any of the services says no, the coordinator sends the rollback to all the participants. So far, this looks a lot like 2PC. Now, the changes will come from the second phase, which is pre-commit. This is the phase that doesn't exist in two-phase commit. The coordinator sends a pre-commit message to all the participants. This tells them, we are all set, get ready to commit, but don't do it yet. Now in this, each participant enters a ready to commit state, writes its changes to the temporary log, and acknowledges back to the coordinator that the pre-commit is done. At this point, participants are prepared but not committed. However, unlike two-phase commit, participants know that all others are also ready, so they can make decisions even if the coordinator fails. So this is what makes three-phase commit non-blocking. The last phase is do commit. Now once the coordinator receives all the pre-commit acknowledgements, it sends a final do commit command. Now each participant then commit the transaction and releases the logs whatever they have obtained. In case of coordinator crashes at that point, participants can still decide whether to commit on their own or not, because they know everyone was ready with the previous phase. So that is the core benefit of three-phase commit. Now participants don't get stuck waiting forever. They can proceed or roll back based on the state they last saw. This makes the three-phase commit a non-blocking protocol, at least in theory. Now here is a good question. So if it solves the major issue of two-phase commit, then why isn't three-phase commit used in microservices? So now let's understand the issues associated with three-phase commit. All the participants and the coordinator still need to respond in real time. So in microservices, network delays, retries, and partial failures are very common. The more the number of phases are there, the more chances of something going wrong is there. The first issue is the communication between the services and coordinator is still synchronous. All the participants and coordinator still need to respond in real time. Another issue is more complex failure scenarios. While 3PC is non-blocking, it introduces new edge cases. For example, what happens if the participant crashes during the pre-commit and comes back later? It needs to know how to recover, which means you need a recovery protocol. So as the communication between all the components is synchronous, so three-phase commit assumes that there will be no delay and no partitions. But real distributed systems deal with network partition all the time. So in such cases, three-phase commit still fails to guarantee the consistency. So yes, it is theoretically better than two-phase commit, but in real-world distributed systems, it is still not enough. Now let us understand what are the key takeaways from the three-phase commit approach. Two-phase commit and three-phase commit both aim for strong consistency, but they struggle in distributed, failure-prone environments like microservices. So that is why the industry moved towards a new mindset. So instead of trying to make everything succeed together, let's make sure the system can recover gracefully if something fails. So that is the main idea behind eventual consistency. So we start accepting that not all operations have to be completed at the same time. And we use techniques like retries or compensating transactions using messaging queues to make sure things get to the consistent state eventually, even if it takes few seconds or few minutes. And that led us to the next video, which is eventual consistency in microservices. We'll talk about what it is, why it is practical, and where to use it. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when that video drops. See you in the next one. Till then, let's keep learning.